The IS-6 is a Soviet Tier 8 premium heavy tank. Plans for this vehicle were drawn up in the construction bureau of the Chelyabinsk Kirov plant from December 1943 to the summer of 1944. Further development and the construction of the first prototype took place at the Uralmash plant. However, the vehicle had no advantages over the other heavy tank designs under consideration, and its armor was seen as inferior to the IS-4, so the IS-6 was not selected for production. In World of Tanks it sits at Tier 8 and it has a premium matchmaking, but let's see what it can do in some gameplay. Hello guys and welcome back to World of Tanks Ace Tanker series. As you can see, today we'll be driving the IS-6. The map is Halluf and it's on encounter battle mode. So driving the IS-6 is Fresti, and he's platooned with another IS-6 and the Jag Tiger 88. So they have a premium setup here and they got a pretty nice matchmaker. Only 6 tier 8s on the enemy team and the rest are tier 7 and tier 6. So with these kind of tanks they should be able to just plow through the enemies and do as much damage as they can. But we'll see what's going to happen on this map, and is that really the case. So the IS-6, it's a Russian tier 8 premium heavy tank with the premium matchmaking, so it is not going to meet any tier 10s in his career. And that's probably the best thing, because the gun on this tank is not that great. So it gets the standard gun that you get on any Russian tank. It's a 175mm, 390 damage, and that's basically a IS-2 gun and IS gun that you are relying on to penetrate tier 9s and tier 8s. And as you can see, it has some bad accuracy. He wasn't able to snapshot this IS-2 on the other side. That's maybe 250 meters in range, so pretty bad accuracy on this tank, and pretty bad aim time as you saw there on the IS-6. So what should you do with this kind of tank, which has great armor and, well, bad gun handling? Well, then you should brawl, because that's what this tank is made for. So the armor on the tank is excellent. You have 150mm of armor on the cupola, on the front and the sides. You have, I believe, 120mm on the hull armor, which is pretty nicely sloped, so you get up to about 200. And anybody who has driven the IS-6 or fought against an IS-6 knows how hard it is to penetrate this tank. And even for some lesser players that are just starting up, they are having trouble of finding the shots on the IS-6 and finding weak points on this tank. So a lower plate is not that of a weak point. When you are trying to find a weak point on this tank, you should probably go for the commander's hatch on the top of the tank, because that's one of the poorly armored points on the tank. So what Frosty is doing here is a interesting tactic. He is using a side scraping technique, which is better known as the reverse side scraping. So why is he doing this? Well, the cupola is mounted on the front of the gun, on the front of the tank, and as you can see, when facing your tank forward, it is pretty hard to point the gun first, so you have to come out and shoot at the enemies. Well, when reverse side scraping, you are giving your enemies the shot on your armor. Another bad shot there by the Frosty. It's not his fault, he aimed the gun perfectly, but the shell really didn't go where he was aiming. So I was saying about reverse side scraping. So you're giving your enemies a opportunity to shoot your side armor, and that's something that you should do in this tank, because the side armor is excellent. Well, he is reverse side scraping here, and you are not going to do this in every tank. You have to know the tank that you are driving. In the Russian lineup, reverse side scraping is good also on the IS-4, and, well, basically on every other tank that has good side armor. and that has the cupola mounted forwards. So what's the main thing that you should remember when trying to reverse side scrape? The main thing to remember is put your back somewhere safe, so you are going to push your back into some hard cover. He's using the corpse of his friendly tank to hide his back plate, and he is going to be reverse side scraping and shooting on the enemies. Now this, I believe it's a Centurion, went forward and got shot down by the IS-3. That was a really bad move, but that allowed Fresty to go forward and shoot on the side of the IS-3. So he switched to premium shells here. The premium shells are just slightly better. They are APCR, so the shell velocity is quite good, but still with the APCR he only has 290mm of penetration, which is not that great in tier 8s. Well, you can penetrate tier 8s, but when you get to tier 9s you are going to have some trouble against armored targets. So it is 3 against 7 and they're in a bad situation here. Now what he is doing here, he is going for the IS-2. Why did he do this? Well, because the enemies were expecting him to stay on that corner and like trade shots with them, but he decided to switch corners and caught the IS-2 off guard. He put a huge shot in him, leaving him on half HP, and he removed some pressure from that Tiger. Keeping the Tiger alive is pretty important now because he doesn't want to stay alone here against 4 tanks. Now we can see that the Super Pershing is trying to flank him. So the Super Pershing is not that fast of a tank, but if he goes here to attack Frosty, he will have the shots on his back. But unfortunately fortunately Super Pershing is a little bit of a coward. He could have gone here to shoot Frosty in the back and finish him because he has a good reload. He could have just poked around the tank here and put a shot in him. Now Frosty is really undecisive here. He is trying to find a shot on the Super Pershing, but he is also looking at the IS-2, so he is aware of his surroundings. He puts a huge shot in the IS-2. Unfortunately the Tiger 1 wasn't able to finish him off, but Frosty reloads fast enough to put another shot in the IS-2, so that's his second kill. And now this SU-100 is trying to do something. Yeah, that wasn't a really good move by the SU. If he was going for the flank, he should have gone fully committed and finished the IS-6, but no, he didn't go forward and didn't finish him. Now he shuts down the M6, and in my opinion it was a bad move because he just got flanked by the Rheinmetall. But fortunately it looks like the Rheinmetall is still reloading. Either he is using the slow loading gun or he is ammo wrecked. And as you can see, Frosty just puts one shot casually in him and finishes him off. Now he is fighting a tier 7 SU-122-44. The SU has excellent rate of fire, and as you can see he is able to penetrate with his shells on the IS-6. He puts another shot into the IS-6 while the Frosty wasn't really reloaded yet. Now what Frosty is doing here, he's still reverse side scraping against this Super Pershing. No, he misses the shot on the turret of the Super Pershing. Let's see if he is going to be able to bounce this one. No. Unfortunately the Super Pershing did the right thing this time and he went for the side of the IS-6. So what's left on this map? It was 2 of them against a couple of the enemies, but really, to be honest, first he was here fighting against 5 tanks as the SU was fighting against the Panther 88. The SU spots the Super Pershing and he is trying to move up into position to cover the cap. Now SU is playing this pretty carefully here. He really doesn't want to go forward and expose himself to the fire from the Super Pershing. He went to a position from where he can spot the Super Pershing coming in, but unfortunately he didn't put his tank well enough to have the shot on the super Pershing while he was going down. Now he is waiting on the enemy to come forward, and a huge shot through the cupola of the super Pershing. 57 HP left on that tank, and you can see in the chat they are ecstatic. Load HE, load HE, you should load HE, really please load HE, because the HE on this gun is very good, around 500 damage, and with the HE he would probably do enough damage to penetrate the Su-26, sorry, the super Pershing, and finish him off. Now, he didn't load HE. If he had, we would have seen a bigger splash here. He goes forward, goes for the lower plate on the super Pershing, doesn't really penetrate here, and this is why he should have loaded HE shells. If he had done this, the super Pershing would probably be dead by now. But let's see how the game develops. We really don't wanna judge too soon. So, they're not spotted, none of them. And as you can see, SU is doing something very cleverly. He is going for the flanking shot on the super Pershing. Last shot, finds the shot on the super Pershing. That's a GG, and let's take a look at the post-game stats. This was a nice game, a real nail-biter at the end, but this Su-100 pulled it through. But really, Frosty had a lot of things to say in this game, and he got a couple of medals like Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect, Cool-Headed, High Caliber, Top Gun, and of course the Mastery Badge Ace Tanker. On team score sheet we can see that Frosty finished first with 1404 experience, 6 kills and 4200 damage. On detailed report we can see that he fired 21 shots, of which 14 hit the target and 14 penetrated. He also got 3900 damage blocked, and with premium account he was able to score 56,000 credits even though he was firing a couple of premium shells. Now if we want to summarize this game, we saw what a tier 8 premium Russian heavy tank can do. Some of the characteristics of the tank is a pretty nice gun at close range, but really not enough to snipe on the enemies at long ranges because it's not that accurate. Poor penetration on the gun, it's a tier 7 penetration to be honest. And excellent armor on the tank and some good driving by Frosty to reverse side scrape and block 3900 damage. When talking about the tank, you have to take into consideration that the tank will never meet tier 10 tanks unless you platoon with somebody, so you're going to meet tier 10s. But it's a premium matchmaking tank, and as you can see it is really good for earning credits. So I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. If you like it, like it. If you dislike it, press dislike. I really would like you not to press dislike, but if you want to, press it anyways. If you have something to say about the tank or something about the video, leave a comment down in the comment section below. I read all of the comments and I will reply as soon as I can. And if you think that some of this content that I am putting out is really nice, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next replay. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.